Okay guys, just a small update. I haven't really done a video lately. Just want to touch base with you guys, let you know that I'm still out here and doing my thing. So basically what you have in front of you, this is, normally I would do like a video strictly on one statue per se. But this I want to just get into like the more repair end of what I do, which is, you know, it can help you out just as much. You know, you got a statue sitting somewhere that's you know, broken or chipped, and you know you want to fix it. You know, I can help you out with that. And you know, price-wise, these things cost so much money as it is. You know, half of these are repairs that you see in front of you, and the other half are upgrades. And you know, when you pay that much, it's like, you know, to drop more money on upgrading something, I could see it's something that you have to justify. But I'm not out to rape anybody, and you know, I usually work with everybody, and you know, I enjoy this and want you to have something great to display that you know, I put a little twist on. Okay, so we're just gonna get into this. What you see in front of you right here, this is a Judge Dredd from, I think, Pop Culture Shock. And if any of you guys suffer from SSS, which is like I'd like to call it, that's exactly what happened here. Where his baton goes into his hand, there was a little chip that I'm actually in the process of repairing right now, and it wasn't packaged the greatest, you know, when it came in, and unfortunately his leg snapped off at the knee, and you can see here how I do my repair, which is pretty general. You know, I drill a hole through both ends where I need to connect it, and then I put a pin in there so it's not gonna come off again. You know, it's like a broken bone. You know, the odds of breaking it the second time are gonna be highly unlikely. So anyway, I fill that in with epoxy where the holes, so I make the holes extra wide, and then I put the pin in there and set it, and you know, you're good to go. With this one, it's a little bit more tricky because I didn't have the base. Anyone gonna send in any statues to anybody to do work, not just myself. Just, you know, a heads up, you know, not something that anyone would really know is the base can be very helpful. I mean, in every aspect. If it's a repair, if it's a repaint. Moving on. Okay, we have the Sideshow Punisher Reverse Daredevil diorama. I only needed the Punisher to work on, so the guy sent me the Punisher and his gun, which I'm not sure if you can see it. Try and focus for you. Well, anyway, his gun was snapped in half, so I repaired the gun, repainted it, and I think he was missing a knife, so I discussed with the owner, and we decided to actually go with a custom-made, you know, metal knife for him, which is going to be really cool because it's really like highly polished, so it's, you know, it's got a mirror finish to it. So you're going to see Daredevil in the reflection when the diorama is set up, which I think is really cool. Moving on over here, there's a custom Wolverine statue floating around. It's, you know, everyone knows what it is. I've been doing a lot of claws for them. So that's the claws. Then we're gonna go over here. That is a Street Fighter Vega Pop Culture Shock statue. And as you can see underneath it, I mean, I probably have 12 to 16 of these claws right now ready to, you know, be worked on. That is what somebody sent me in, which is the broken hand. And also the, I don't know why it's not focusing, the original claws, which are, they're actually made in metal. This is this repair is probably the hardest repair that I've done yet. It looks very simple and straightforward. In reality, it's very tough because the top piece right there, which my camera never wants to focus, that's actually made of metal, the very top piece. So it's kind of hard to do that. And then over here, these are some of the Wolverine hands without the claws that I've been working on, and that's what they're going to look like when they're finished. Situation with these is, you know, some of these statues, depending on who makes them, they actually have a little metal rod in the claws, which is great for the fact that they're sturdy, and you know, it's a very good thing to have the metal rods in there for support. But on my end, when I have to pull the claws out, it makes it all that much harder to get around that metal. Because it was a stainless steel that they used, and you know, most bits just, it's just very time consuming and, you know, a lot of work to get the desired effect. Now down here what we have is another option. Any of these claws, knives, you know, anything you want to do metal, as long as you can get me the specs wise. And you know, I'm not saying that, you know, this is like exclusive to me, that if you want metal you have to come through me. In reality, it saves me a step. If you have a preferred painter or customizer that you want to deal with, I can get the metal work done for you and ship it right to them, and you know, you guys could handle it on your end. You know, like I said, I'm willing to work every possible way. But these bigger claws right here are for the legendary scale figure Wolverine, which is that one. So all scales and sizes on the Wolverine statues for claws, all metal work. You know, it's whatever you want to do. The world is your oyster. You just send me the specs. For the most part, as long as you're willing to tweak it a little bit, you can get the desired effect. So again, I'll take off the tripod and get you in a little closer on these so you can see what we're all about. Okay guys, so we're a little closer now. Get you into, this is the first, well, this is a couple steps in. I've plucked the metal claw, the resin claws per se, dremelled the holes out, refilled with epoxy, and they're eventually, you know, gonna do the ugly duckling and turn into this pretty thing over here. And as you can see, these are the original claws that came with it. You know, it's painted resin. You're not gonna really get that metal look. I mean, you could do an alkali chrome, but nothing really compares to the actual metal. And the blood on the original ones, you know, well, you can see for yourself, and then I'll show you the blood on the one I did, which is this. You know, there's a couple different tones, and it just looks a little bit more realistic, and the blood is dripping down. There's some splatter, you know, and then we're gonna move on to the Vega over here. Okay, so here we got the Vega. Now that I can really get close and zoom in on this. So these are the original claws, and you can see where they snapped off. So this part right here is metal, which causes the problem with the repair, but you know, I can get it done for you. You just gotta bear with me and give me some time. This one per se, I really would only do in-house, just because I kind of developed a little bit of a technique with it, and it's just easier that way, instead of getting a phone call or an email a week later that it got screwed up and then I have double the work to fix. So here's the finished product on the Vega. Mirror finish, you know, you can see, well, it's really pretty. And on this guy's, I actually put some little rubies on there because there was some control art that we were following. And also, very important, I hate SSS, triple S, whatever you want to call it. Maybe I, you know, invented that, I don't know, but I hate it. I hate doing twice the work. I just don't have time for that. So everything ships out in this, which is a PVC plastic tube, super hard construction. And just to show you, it goes like that over the piece, and I would, you know, it gets raised up so it's like halfway, stuffed in there with tissue paper and whatnot. So that's that. Then we have the legendary scale claws, which are real polished up and pretty, and you know, like I said, they're on their way to that statue over there. But these claws per se is what I'm doing, where I'm sending this to another customizer. So I'll work with you guys. I'm not one of these customizers per se. You got to do it through me, and I don't like other people. You know, I'm not about that. This is a very detailed hobby, and anyone who could put in the time and actually produce something nice, I mean, I respect that and consider him my peer. So, you know, I'm willing to help anybody. Just shoot me an email and we'll figure it out. So here's the Punisher and the repaired gun. It's hard to get to focus on that, but the paint job is much better. And then we got the knife, which, let's see, obviously it's polished, but my camera wants to focus on my granite instead. But it's It's a upgrade from what it was. And the Judge Dredd is, just like I said, you know, down here, there's my hole, and over here is my hole on that, and it gets epoxied, and he'll be boxed up and sent out to his owner. And then moving over here, this is just another production line, and I got another huge one in the garage of just things that are on my plate. This was a Wolverine, I apologize, this was a Mystique premium format that I turned into a domino, and I gave her a real cloth thong. She's got a actual leather strap with another 45 over there, and some, like, you know, magazine holsters on that side. This is an X23 that is on her way to get some metal claws, because she's missing one there, and these ones kind of suck. That's a Captain America, which is going to be tweaked. Super Scroll that I have personal plans for, and there's a Talia kit that's getting worked on. And now anything that's covered like that or that are things that per se the clients want to keep secret, so I can't really show you guys. And that's basically it. And, you know, just shoot me an email. Like I said, I'm willing to work with anybody. You just got to respect that, you know, all this stuff takes time. And you know, anytime you're going to ship anything in, avoid the triple S at all costs, because A, it's going to cost you more money, and whoever is going to be repairing them, it's going to be more work for them. And me, I'd rather do less work and get it turned around faster and then work on something else. So anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. As always, more to come.
How did you do that?
With style, Petit. With style.